the humble U.S. nickel holds a hidden history, one that perfectly captures a generational shift in American design. We're comparing two key dates: the 2001 coin, which represents the end of the classic Jefferson profile era, the familiar coin millions grew up with. Contrast that with the 2021 nickel, which features the radical, new forward-facing portrait of Jefferson, looking directly into the future. Despite the major change to the head side, both coins feature the iconic Monticello on the reverse. Stick around as we reveal the secrets, rare errors, and surprising values that make the evolution from the 2001 profile to the 2021 bust the most fascinating design change in modern U.S. coinage. The Jefferson nickel, the 5-cent piece of United States coinage, first entered circulation in 1938, replacing the popular but production troublesome Buffalo nickel after its mandatory 25-year service period was complete. The decision to honor the third U.S. president, Thomas Jefferson, was made by the Treasury Department, which held a public competition for the new design, offering a $1,000 prize to the winning sculptor. This open competition was a break from the tradition of having the U.S. Mint's chief sculptor-engraver design the coins, demonstrating a commitment to popular appeal for this widely circulated denomination. The design challenge required that the obverse, or head side, feature a profile of Thomas Jefferson, and the reverse, or tail side, depict his famous Virginia home, Monticello. The winning artist, Felix Schlag, a German-born American sculptor, based his portrait on a marble bust of Jefferson by Jean-Antoine Houdon. Schlag's design was ultimately chosen, though the Commission of Fine Arts required him to make modifications to his original reverse design, most notably changing the perspective of Monticello from a three-quarter view to the more traditional, direct frontal view that would endure for decades on the coin. Felix Schlag's design for the Jefferson nickel, featuring the familiar left-facing portrait of Jefferson on the obverse and a straightforward depiction of Monticello on the reverse, remained largely unchanged for 66 years, establishing one of the longest continuous design runs in American numismatic history. The obverse is bordered by the motto "In God We Trust" to the left, liberty and the year of mintage to the right, and the mint mark, if present, is generally positioned near the date or, for earlier issues, on the reverse. The 2001 Jefferson nickel, such as the one in the image which appears to show a D mint mark for the Denver Mint, is a perfect example of this classic, long-running design. It carries the standard composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the alloy that gave the coin its popular name. This composition was briefly interrupted only during the critical years of World War II, from 1942 to 1945, when the necessary nickel metal was diverted for military defense purposes, leading to the creation of the distinctive wartime nickel struck in a 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese alloy, a fascinating detour in the coin's consistent metallic makeup. The 2001 edition of the Jefferson nickel is situated near the end of the original Felix Schlag design era, preceding the significant westward journey redesigns that would commence just a few years later in 2004. As a coin struck for circulation in a high volume, the 2001 issues from the Philadelphia, P, and Denver D mints are exceptionally common and are typically only valued at their face amount in circulated conditions, making them readily available pieces of modern history for any collector. The massive mintage numbers, with hundreds of millions struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, mean that the vast majority of these coins were intended for the daily exchange of commerce. However, even within such a high-volume production year, collectors maintain an interest in seeking out full steps examples, which refers to coins that exhibit a particularly sharp strike, showing all 6 steps leading up to Monticello on the reverse clearly defined and completely separate. This subtle detail, an unofficial gauge of strike quality, can elevate an otherwise common coin's value substantially among numismatists and is a key pursuit for enthusiasts of the series, demonstrating that scarcity is not the only driver of collector demand in modern coins. Beyond the regular circulation strikes, the 2001 production year also included special proof coins, which were exclusively struck at the San Francisco Mint and designated with an S mint mark. Proof coins are distinct from their circulation counterparts, as they are produced in a limited quantity specifically for collectors using specially prepared and polished dies and planchets, often resulting in a mirror-like field and frosted, highly detailed devices, creating a stunning visual contrast. These proof coins are typically included in annual proof sets sold by the U.S. Mint. While the 2001's proof nickel is still considered common within the realm of proof coinage, its lower mintage compared to the circulation coins makes it a desirable piece for those assembling a comprehensive collection of the Jefferson Nickel series, serving as a testament to the specialized craft of coin-making. The pursuit of deep cameo or ultra-cameo proofs, which possess the most intense contrast between the mirror fields and the frosted portrait and building, remains an important aspect of proof coin collecting, adding another layer of intricacy to the 2001 issue's collectability. The image provided, which shows the obverse of the 2001 coin, clearly displays the inscriptions "In God We Trust" to the left and "Liberty" with the date 2001, and what is likely the D mint mark beneath it to the right of Jefferson's portrait. The presence of the mint mark on the obverse, below the date, is a subtle yet significant historical detail that began in 1968. Prior to this change, from 1938 to 1964, the mint mark was located on the reverse, to the right of Monticello. For a brief period between 1965 and 1967, no mint marks were used at all due to a coin shortage, making the placement of the mint mark in the 2001 issue a relatively modern development in the long history of the coin. This consistent use of the obverse mint mark from 1968 onwards simplifies identification for modern collectors and highlights the continuous evolution of even the most stable coin designs, subtly reflecting changes in mint procedures and policies over the decades. The year 2001 marks a point of continuity before a period of significant change for the 5-cent piece, as it represents one of the final issues of the original Felix Schlag designs that had been in use since the late 1930s. The subsequent years, 2004 and 2005, would bring the Westward Journey Nickel series, which featured 4 different commemorative reverse designs and 2 new obverse portraits of Thomas Jefferson, celebrating the bicentennial of the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark expedition. Therefore, the 2001 coin serves as a final chapter for the classic aesthetic before the U.S. Mint began experimenting with a limited-run redesign. The stability of the 2001 design, with its familiar profile and Monticello reverse, provides a strong numismatic anchor, underscoring the long-standing tradition of American coinage before the brief, thematic interruption of the Westward Journey series. This makes the 2001 nickel a quietly historical piece, a symbol of stability in an era that was about to experience a design transformation. Considering the technical aspects of the 2001 Jefferson Nickel, it maintains the precise specifications established for the series, weighing 5.00 grams and having a diameter of 21.2 millimeters with a plain edge, consistent with all circulating nickels since 1866. The copper-nickel composition is an alloy known for its durability, which is why these coins tend to show less wear in circulation compared to their copper alloy cent counterparts, and why coins from many decades ago can still be found in change today. The inherent hardness of the alloy is a factor in the collectability of full-step specimens, as it necessitates a very powerful and precise strike to fully bring up the minute detail of Monticello steps on the reverse, often leading to slight imperfections or incomplete details on the vast majority of circulating coins. The sheer volume of coins produced in 2001 means that the Mint's focus was on high-speed mass production, which naturally results in fewer perfect strikes than in years with lower mintages, adding a degree of challenge to finding a truly high-grade, unblemished example from this particular year. While the majority of 2001 Jefferson nickels are worth only their face value, collectors are always on the lookout for error coins, which can command significant premiums. Minting errors such as a struck-through error, a die clash error where the design of the obverse is faintly transferred to the reverse or vice versa, due to the dies hitting each other without a blank coin in between, or die break errors, cracks in the die that appear as raised lines on the coin, are all possibilities in any mass-produced coinage. The 2001 issues have been documented with several of these variations, creating a niche market for the dedicated variety collector. For example, some 2001 nickels have been reported with noticeable die breaks, particularly around the rim or on Jefferson's profile, forming unique, intricate patterns. Finding such a mint error dramatically changes the coin's value, transforming a common 5-cent piece into a unique collectible item that provides a tangible glimpse into the complex and often imperfect process of modern minting, a detail which is essential for any detailed video presentation. The United States 5-cent coin, famously known as the Jefferson Nickel, has a rich and layered history stretching back to its initial production in 1938, But the 2021 issue represents a modern chapter in this long-running saga, featuring a design that is the result of a deliberate, two-part transformation. The coin's obverse, or head side, which features the striking, forward-facing portrait of the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, is a design created by artist Jamie Franke and introduced in 2006. This design, based on an 1800 portrait of Jefferson by Rembrandt Peale, was a radical departure from the traditional profile image that had graced the coin since its inception, symbolizing a forward-looking nation and marking the first time in American circulating coinage that a president was depicted facing forward rather than in profile. The selection of this particular Peale painting, which captures Jefferson at the age of 57 during his vice presidency, was a conscious choice to honor the man and his legacy of exploration, particularly the bicentennials of the Louisiana Purchase and the subsequent Lewis and Clark expedition. The obverse of the 2021 nickel is significant for more than just its design. It is a repository of inscriptions that have evolved with the nation's history, contributing to its overall narrative. Surrounding the forward-facing bust of Jefferson are the motto "In God We Trust," arching across the top, and the word "Liberty," written in a distinctive, cursive script inspired by Jefferson's own handwriting, placed to the right of his image. Below this cursive "Liberty" are the year of mintage, 2021, and the mint mark, which in the case of the Philadelphia struck coin is a P, the Denver struck coin a D, and the San Francisco proof coin an S. This placement of the mint mark, below the date on the obverse, is itself a historical footnote, having been moved from its original position on the reverse in 1968 and becoming a permanent fixture on the obverse for all mints, with the notable addition of the P for Philadelphia in 1980, marking the first time that mint's letter appeared on the nickel denomination. In stark contrast to the completely redesigned obverse, the reverse, or tail side, of the 2021 nickel features a return to the coin's historical roots, showcasing a beautifully refined and highly detailed rendition of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's neoclassical home in Virginia. This architectural masterpiece was the central motif of the nickel's reverse from its debut in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag, the winner of the original design competition. After the temporary suspension of the Monticello design during the Westward Journey series of 2004 to 2005, the reverse design was reinstated in 2006, carefully restored and enhanced by U.S. Mint sculptor-engraver John Mercanti using Schlag's original artwork. This restoration brought back subtle architectural details that had been lost over decades of die-making, such as the clear facets of the dome, creating a crisper, more faithful depiction of Monticello, truly a symbol of Jefferson's genius as an architect and intellectual. The return to Monticello design found on the 2021 reverse is accompanied by the enduring and historically rich motto, E pluribus unum, which translates from Latin to out of many, one, a foundational statement about the union of the states which is elegantly positioned above the Monticello dome. Below the mansion are the inscriptions Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America, all of which form a powerful circle of text framing the iconic structure. The deliberate decision to pair the completely new, forward-facing Jefferson obverse with the classic yet refined Monticello reverse created the permanent, modern identity of the nickel beginning in 2006. This pairing signifies a blend of reverence for the past, embodied by the enduring image of the statesman's home, and a symbolic embrace of the future and exploration, represented by the president looking directly ahead, a dual narrative that continues to be struck and circulated in 2021. The metallic composition of the 2021 Jefferson nickel adheres to the standard formula of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the durable alloy that has characterized the coin for most of its history and which gives it its common name. This specific alloy, known for its resilience to wear, is what enables nickels from many decades past to still be found in circulation today, a testament to its practical utility as an essential piece of everyday commerce. The long-standing use of this composition was only briefly interrupted during the years of World War II, from 1942 to 1945, when the metal nickel was deemed a strategic material needed for the war effort, leading to the temporary creation of the wartime nickel, which contained 35% silver, a significant and fascinating break from tradition that is still hunted by collectors today. The 2021 coin thus confirms a return to, and continuation of, the physical standards established after the end of that period, solidifying its place in the modern coinage system. From a production and mintage perspective, the 2021 Jefferson Nickel was struck in large quantities across the three primary United States mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were responsible for the vast business strike coinage intended for mass circulation, with hundreds of millions of coins produced at each facility to meet the nation's demand for small change, making these issues highly common and typically valued only at their 5-cent face value in circulated grades. The San Francisco Mint, however, exclusively produced special proof issues, which are coins of exceptional quality struck for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in a distinct, mirror-like finish and frosted details. These proof coins, though still modern and widely available, are produced in far lower numbers, and the 2021's proof nickel is a prized inclusion in any comprehensive collection due to its superior finish and limited mintage, representing the peak of the mint's production artistry for the year. The high-volume striking of the 2021 business strike nickels, particularly those from the Denver and Philadelphia mints, invariably leads to the existence of highly desirable production varieties and mint errors that are passionately sought after by numismatists. Even on a modern coin with advanced quality control, slight imperfections in the die or the striking process can create rare and valuable anomalies, such as doubled die obverse (DDO) errors, which show a clear doubling of the design elements, or coins exhibiting the full steps designation on the Monticello reverse. The full steps designation is an unofficial, but highly important, grading criterion that requires all 6 steps of Monticello to be clearly visible and completely separate without interruption. A difficult feat on a coin struck in a durable alloy at high speed. The discovery of a well-preserved 2021 DDO or a full step specimen can dramatically increase the coin's market value, turning a common pocket change item into a collectible treasure and highlighting the fascinating imperfections inherent in the mass production of currency. The historical context of the 2021 coin is also intertwined with the legislative actions of the early 2000s that mandated the design changes. The congressional act that authorized the Westward Journey series also stipulated that following the 2-year commemorative program, the coin's design must revert to featuring Thomas Jefferson and Monticello, but without mandating the return of the original 1938 Felix Schlag designs. This legal mandate gave the mint the creative freedom to select the new, forward-facing Jamie Franke portrait in 2006, allowing them to modernize the coin's appearance while still honoring the historical figures and themes. Therefore, the 2021 nickel is a direct, ongoing result of a carefully considered design transition that was planned years in advance, ensuring that the coin remained relevant and visually appealing to the modern American public while remaining true to the spirit of its historical subject, serving as a powerful example of deliberate, state-sanctioned evolution in circulating coinage. For numismatists and casual coin enthusiasts, the 2021 Jefferson Nickel is not merely a common coin but a benchmark, representing the definitive and current design of the 5-cent piece, which has been in continuous production for well over a decade and a half. Collecting the 2021 issues, especially in high uncirculated grades from all 3 mints, P, D, and S proof, allows a collector to acquire a complete picture of that year's production and to tangibly trace the continuity of this coin series against the backdrop of earlier versions. The robust market for modern errors and varieties further encourages constant scrutiny of even the newest coins, ensuring that this denomination, regardless of its common face value, remains a vibrant and actively collected area of American numismatics. This ongoing interest in even the most recent issues speaks to the public's enduring connection with the history, artistry, and potential rarity hidden within the coins we use every day, making the